Tennessee in his coaching clinic. I was going to share a quick story with you, and then had a couple of thoughts on a couple of quarterback drills and a little thoughts on some no-huddle offense. And I was going to take your questions, any questions that you have about anything, about offense. I can't help you much on the read option or anything from a mobile quarterback. I know every man needs to know his limitations, right? So, but certainly, as I knew as I was talking to you this morning, it made me think back to my days of being recruited and all the camps that I went to. And I went to a camp in Florida State when I was a junior. And after the camp, we kind of gathered 10 or 15 prospects that they thought they might be recruiting later on that fall. And they had us fill out a questionnaire. And obviously all you coaches have seen these questionnaires coming in the mail. And so I'm kind of doing my questionnaire. I kind of do the personal section, and, your name and your address, and then my height and weight 40 times. Of course, I naturally lied about that. And then I kind of get on down to that section about your high school. Your high school coach's alma mater. So Peyton Manning, Newman High School, Tony Reginelli was my high school coach. High school coach's alma mater, Tulane. I coached with the Tulane there in New Orleans. So I finished my questionnaire. I look over to the guy next to me, and I'm kind of just peeking at his questionnaire. Big old, good-looking offensive lineman named John Smith, height 6'5", weight 300, 5 flat 40, Fort Walton Beach High School, nickname Road Grader. Road Grader. So looking on down to his section about his high school, it says high school, Fort Walton Beach High School. High school coach Lee Jenkins. High school coach's alma mater, always do your best. And I scanned on down and kind of had that section, on your visit, number to call in case of emergency. And of course, the road grader wrote 911. I think somehow he got into Florida State, I think. I had a couple videos of a couple of quarterback drills that I actually shared with Coach Jones, some of his staff last night. These are some drills that I know these are quarterback drills. I know we got line coaches and defensive coaches in here, but really my point is that I believe in drill work. I believe in individual periods at practice. I don't think you can all just go straight to teamwork and 7-on-7 and scrimmages and whatnot. I think there has to be time in your practice for some individual work where your position and your coach can work on your craft. Receivers, linemen, and it's the consistency of doing the same drills over and over again every day. If you get a good drill, stay with it. Do it every single year. You'll see some clips. I've been doing some of the same drills since 1994 when I was here in Tennessee that I'm still doing today in 2013. I believe before practice, I think your quarterbacks and centers need to get out there early and need to do quarterback and center exchange. And it's a full speed period, right? It's not a walkthrough. It's not a kind of how we call a jack around session where you're talking about what's going on. It's a full speed period, right? Where I want the quarterback making calls, calling who the mic is, pointing out a hot. I want that center, right? This is a video to kind of show quarterback's hands when they stand together. I want that center reaching. I want him reaching a 3 technique. I want to put a backup lineman at a defensive tackle, make him reach, right? It's not just snap and turn around. I want a full speed. I want a quarterback taking a snap, making a call, calling the cadence, right? Throwing a hot, working on his footwork, doing play action, right? It's a work period, right? I think too many teams just do that. Yeah, let's get a couple snaps, One fumbled exchange is one too many in a lifetime, all right? One is one too many, right? So full speed, that's the first thing we're doing on the practice field. This is before we stretch. Then we'll go into stretch and start practice. I think, I'm a big believer in the different uses of cameras, right? We all have cameras, right? Not everybody has Joe at their discretion, but we all have cell phone cameras. Get an assistant, student, manager, get his cell phone out there, put it right there between the center and the quarterback. Make sure the quarterback's hands are staying together. Incorporate a wet ball drill. Get you a squeeze ball. Wet that ball down. Work on your wet ball drill so when that rain beam comes up, you're prepared, right? I believe that's a full speed theory. Next thing I do, right after I stretch, I'm going through the bag. This is 1994. Those shorts were legal back then. I can assure you. I'm running full speed through these bags, right? Eyes up at the coach. He might give a signal. I got to call ball. With eyes up, not looking at the bags, making a move coming out of the bags. Get your blood flowing. Get the quarterback's heart rate right. 1994. This is 2004. Same thing. Working on those feet. It's just good for a quarterback, to just get his blood flowing and get loosened up before practice. Same thing. So, here we are in 2012, right? Same drill, right? Over the course of 17, 18 years. It doesn't matter. Stay with me. That's the first thing I'm doing as soon as we break stretch. Shuffling through the bags, right? I believe a quarterback shuffling through the bags, eyes up at all times, ready to throw. If the coach, after they're making a move, he's sprinting out of there. If the coach hollers ball, ready to throw at any given time, right? You never know. I want those feet shoulder width apart the whole time. You never know when that guy's going to be open. That ball's got to come out of your hands quick. You can send it back the other way, right? Eyes downfield the whole time. Moving your feet and eyes move together. Feet and eyes always move together, right? Same thing. Doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter how long you've been playing or coaching, you got a good drill. I believe in it. Stay with it. No matter what position you're coaching, running back, goal line, get you a routine and go with it, right? It's really helped me get a good feel for the pocket, guys around me, and like I said, it gets me loose and ready to go. Now, Coach Cutcliffe was my coordinator here. He started me on the bags. I never exactly knew why we were running over bags. I could never exactly, I didn't ask. We just did the bags. I believed him, I did them. That was 1994. 2012, all that bag work finally came to fruition and helped me when I finally hurled over a guy for the first time in my life. So my point is you never quite know when it's going to pay off, but this felt like a bag right there. I just hopped over him and made that throw. So hopefully it pays off sooner than 18 years later for you, but you never quite know. So that's what we're doing to get the blood flow. Now we're warming up, a little routine. The first thing I'm doing is what I call this feet parallel, right? This feet parallel, shoulder width apart, taking 3 throws, probably 3 of each of these. I'm picking a target, right? Always have a target. Have that receiver, quarterback that I'm throwing to, equipment manager, have him changing his target. Shoulder, hip, up top. Always have a target that you're throwing to. This is what I call proper split. Right foot back, sometimes in the pocket. You don't have time to have that perfect step into the throw, right? You're right here in the pocket. You just got to pop that throw with your feet, not in perfect alignment. Proper foot. This is opposite foot. Same thing. Your feet get in an awkward position. Just working on making that throw. Once again, guys, 10 yards from me right now. I'm just picking a target every single time, trying to be accurate with my feet in a different position. The next one we're doing is what I call 6-inch step. I believe every throw needs to be no more than a 6-inch step. It might be a 10-yard pass, it could be a 50-yard pass, but we start overstriding, right? That ball is going to sail. We step too short, that ball is going to die. Just a 6-inch step. So I'm 6 inches from that line. I'm taking that 6-inch step, going 3 passes at 10 yards, going 3 at 15 yards. It's a great drill to throw all distances if you want to work on certain distances and your arm strength. This is just my warm-up, but I'm trying to finish every time too. I'm trying to finish the same way, finish with balance, so every throw feels the same, looks the same. Now we're throwing on the run. We all know this drill. He's backing up. When I'm throwing to him, I'm backing up, getting that shoulder square, finishing toward the target. I don't run real well, but I do throw well on the run because I work on it. And I work on finishing toward the target, right? Not finishing toward the sideline, running right toward that target. Same deal, same drills that I'm doing. I've done most of my career. I still do today. It's a great way, a good routine. It makes me feel consistent and accurate as a quarterback. Pass wave drill. Right after we finish that warm up and boom, we're moving right into the pass wave drill. Coach is moving me right. He's resetting me. He can color ball. He's telling me to get out of there. Go back one more time, Joe. Just moving in the pocket, right? Shuffling eyes downfield, simulating a pass rush, right? I want our feet and eyes to move together. I don't want to come separate, right? I want my hands to be together the whole time. I don't want to come apart. That guy comes open. I can't get the ball to him in time, right? So full speed, eyes downfield, you know, working the whole time, making a move downfield. Obviously, if it breaks down, and you got to, you know, make a play, get down the field. So this is movement drill, right? Just pause it real quick, Joe. I want a coach right there. I want dropping back. I want him moving me in the pocket, right? All of a sudden, he's bailing me out, right? He's sending me deep. He's shuffling me up and then sending me out, right? This movement, work on throwing on the run. This drill, the running back's at 5 yards. Coach is dropping back. He's moving me right or left. I'm running that line at full speed, right? Dwight Frady's chasing me. I'm running full speed. He hollers ball whenever he wants me to throw it. It may be right there on the hash, it may be on the sideline. The point is, you're running full speed, not knowing when he hollers ball. And as soon as he hollers ball, that ball's got to come out quick, and it's got to be accurate. Too many guys miss that 5-yard pass. They throw it behind them, ball gets tipped up, working on that, throwing a on-the-run route, running full speed. You're not jogging. It's got to be a sprint. So this is the next drill we'll do to get some throwing on the run, running full speed. He's on the ball right there. It's got to be accurate, right? Same thing, running. You never quite know when he's going to pop open, right? That linebacker may fall down. Boom, you got to be able to pop it to him quick.
One hanging in the ball. That's all I did see. I did the
So basically what we did, go back to that one, it's my old fellow teammate, Leonard Little right there. It's just not right. It didn't hit me in the back like that. But like I said, basically what I like to do, go back one more time, Joe, is take throws that are happening in games, take situations in games, and create the drill out of that. You've got a running back that's, a certain throw he's always having to catch. The quarterback's throwing behind him. Let's go work that drill. Let's go work on throwing back hip throws to your running back. So we take game situations, awkward throws, throwing on the run, and we create drills out of that. But like I said, this is an awkward throw. I felt like I've made these throws before because I've worked on them before, right? Throwing on the run, being accurate to the receiver. Obviously, you can't always get square toward the target. If these guys are rushing you, they're in your face, you got to be able to fade away sometime. But when you have protected edge, I want you to get downhill, square toward that target. So like I said, we're not running, sprint out, no matter what it is, but we are working on throwing on the run. And I feel that I am acting on the run. That's probably the best thing my dad taught me. He had to throw on the run. He had nobody blocking for him, right? He did teach me how to throw on the run. This is kind of a pocket drill. Like I said one more time, go back to that one, Joe. I just believe in your feet and eyes moving together. When you're scanning in progression, right, your feet and eyes got to move together. If I'm scanning from right to left, I want my feet and my eyes moving together. If just your eyes are moving left and your feet are staying lined up there, you're going to be late toward the target. So this is feet and eyes move together for a quarterback. That's going to help you be quicker and be more accurate. Call it gauntlet drill, right? Just dropping back in the pocket, like I said. You got equipment managers, you got guys around, just creating some irritants in the pocket, right? Go back one more time. Guys around you, don't hit him while he's throwing, right? We don't want to hit a helmet, but just grab him, maybe having your legs around his feet where you don't get that perfect pocket, right? Working on these situations that come up where you can't, step up and have perfect alignment and throws. So being sure 2 strong hands on the ball, right? Quarterback's got to be able to protect that ball in the pocket, right? There's a receiver out here at 10 yards. Coach may call right or left. Right at the last minute, you got to be accurate with the ball. And, like I said, stepping through that traffic, guys, right? This is our equipment manager. This is our quarterback coach. No matter who's out there, you got some guys that can help you creating this drill. There's always somebody you can have to work on. When you're the starter, you can do this. You can mess with the backup quarterback. You can throw the ball at his head. That's kind of your luxury, right? Keep him kind of on his toes, right? So you kind of earned that right. So, yeah, like I said, simulating those drills, just like I said, moving in the pocket. Just because a guy, one more time, Joe, just because a guy rushes you doesn't mean you have to bail out, doesn't mean you have to go down, right? You can still move in that pocket under duress and still hit your receiver. One more time, I like when a quarterback's moving left, I want the ball to kind of come with him, right? Don't have that ball out there. That's where most of the fumbles come from. Bringing that ball with him as he's coming. Same thing. Just a couple of examples of this, stepping up in the pocket, guys around you. Whatever the situation is that you're seeing the most in your games, I believe you can create a drill for that to work on that period. Like I said, I play quarterback, that's what I know, but no matter what position, creating that drill to work on it, I think every day you got to have individual period. I like to have more personally, before I'm getting into teamwork, to work on my craft and to be sure I'm taking care of my job. Little hot drill, right? Everybody gets blitzed, linebackers coming, safeties coming. Just work on getting that ball out of your hands quick, right? Hot drill, 4 balls in a row. He's snapping it real quick, right? He's calling right or left each time. You got to get that ball out of your hands, right? Some throws, I'm probably getting the laces on that throw. This is a quick one, a short little skip step hot, no laces, just getting the ball out, right? Bad snaps, low snaps, right? Just work on getting that ball out of your hands quick, right? Real quick feet, like I said, might not get the laces. You got to be able to try to throw an accurate ball without the laces. But working on that drill so you can get that ball out of your hands before that blitzer gets there and be accurate. He's calling left right now. This is a 5-yard hitch. This is a blitz read. On that one, I think you do have to get the laces. You got to get more on that throw to be accurate, right? But a little slot, maybe a little quick, just a little skip step, as I call it. You don't have to get the laces on that throw necessarily. So like I said, working on that linebacker's coming. I'm getting those laces quick, right? I'm negotiating the rusher, getting it over his head, working on getting the ball out of your hands, right? So that linebacker's not getting a free shot on the quarterback, and we're getting the ball out of the hands. You go to the next one. Like I said, working on those drills, working on those things that come up in practice, right? Simulate. And you may not do all of those drills every day. I do those bag drills, that shuffle drill, create a different drill every day that's coming up. Maybe we're going to do gauntlet one day, we're going to do hots the next day, right? Obviously, you got a time limit, you got quarterbacks on, you got to protect. But just working on quick feet, getting that ball out of our hands. Like I was saying, I really think you can use these cameras now. And I was fortunate. We had Joe here in Tennessee, who was great for me, and we got this great video, 6-person video staff in Denver and Indianapolis, right? But everybody's got cell phones now. I can assure you, everybody has got cell phones, and you can use those, right? Use a manager, use a trainer, whatever. Get your phone, use your buddy. Have a quarterback use his buddy, and they also hey, go film me. Like put this camera at middle linebacker, put him at safety so I can see kind of what the defense is seeing. So I call it the ladder cam. Joe has his own patent on the Joe pole, and he has a camera. I really believe in this view on a quarterback in a 7-on-7 period, right? There's a guy on a ladder 10 yards behind you. One more time. Joe's got his own little Joe pole, which I'm sure you'll get to see during the clinic, right? But here I want to see the quarterback's footwork, his balance. I also want to see where his eyes are. I can look at the stripe of his helmet and tell who he's looking at. The quarterback says, yeah, coach, I saw that guy. I was seeing that guy. You know whether he's telling the truth or not by this angle, right? But, from the sideline angle, if you're filming, even in games, like I said, I know you don't get to film every single practice. I understand that. But I think there is a camera phone in there somewhere, or if you have a video camera, just to get behind the quarterback, maybe a couple times, in a couple of drills. But we do 7-on-7 every day. I like to have this camera angle, somebody filming me. You don't have to do every single repetition. Just give the quarterback some example of kind of what he looks like back there in the pocket. Is he falling away on his throws? Or is he looking receivers off? Whatever it may be, I think it's a good teaching tool, for the quarterback. This is what I like to do. I think everybody needs to do this one. A good quarterback in the running. I'm kind of old school. I still believe in, just pause real quick, I still believe in good old under center play action pass, right? Handoffs and play action pass. You can do all the same things from the gun. There's no question about it. We do a ton of gun in Denver. But I believe that every run play that you have, you ought to have a play action pass off of it. And your job as a quarterback or as a coach is to make those look the exact same. So this is our ball handling drill. I got this camera kind of middle linebacker position where he would be. And we're going to do each handoff followed with the play action pass and see if our steps are the exact same. Is the quarterback taking 2.5 steps on the handoff, 2.5 steps on the play action? I kind of think the quarterbacks tend to get faster on play action, right? On a handoff, it's a little more casual, right? You're not really doing anything. You're handing off, right? Play action, I'm excited, I'm going to throw a pass. I get faster. Can you be equally the same timing on the play action and the pass? Faking, I believe, is about one thing. It's about effort as a quarterback. 10 players are doing something on a run play. You need to be doing something as a quarterback on a run play. You can block somebody with the fake, carrying out a bootleg or naked the other way. It's about discipline and it's about effort on handoffs. Don't turn and run and watch. And it's hard. I play with some great backs. This guy's Edgerrin James. He's going to be a Hall of Fame running back. I like to watch him sometimes do it. I still do it. But I want to carry out that fake. There's the handoff on the stretch. We're coming right back with the stretch play action. I want it to look the exact same. I want to extend the ball at the same time. I'm kind of a ball faker. You know, I understand there's a concern about ball security. If you want to do 2 hands and slide, that's fine with me too. But the idea is I think you should hand off and play action pass the exact same way. Carrying out your fake. This is during practice. You know, you can get guys after practice, whatever it may be. There's no question you guys can get this done in the summer on their own, right? You know, coaches don't even have to, you know, be out there for this. They can get somebody to film it. This is after practice. This running back's tired. All right, I'm wearing him out. He's taking his shoulder pads off. We're going to get this drill done. You know, this is our backup running back. The other guy was our starter, Edgerrin James. I think you need to get it with each running back that's going to be playing, right? Do the little things, right? Take the extra step to be a difference maker and to be special. Corner Cam, I think, you know, like I said, putting that defensive back. I'm going to show you this example because this is really Joe wanted me to put this in here. He says we were doing this back in 1996. I can't recall. That's why we were doing this specific drill, but Joe wanted me to say that, and so therefore you have it. So put that camera and where the quarterback would be and see what he's seeing, right? See what he's seeing. What's he seeing on a quarterback's 3-step drop, on his pump footwork when he's pumping, right? What's he seeing? Does the 3-step drop on the pump look just like he's going to throw the hitch? I don't like quarterbacks that pump with 2 hands because you don't throw with 2 hands, right? I want to see maybe a little shoulder lean, a little separation with the ball, you know, but look what that corner's seeing. There's the 3-step drop. What's he seeing? How quickly is he going to be able to drive on that ball, right, with a 3-step drop? Now, you show that once, and now you try to make the pump look the exact same. Your slant goes, your hitching goes, whatever it may be. Don't just, you know, show the camera, or don't, you know, let the quarterback see what that corner's seeing. A good corner is not going to drive on a bad fake if he knows that the quarterback's not really in a position to throw. So, you know, be a technician and figure out how you can make it look the exact same, and you can get a great, easy, free play out of this with a good pump fake. A corner wants to be a hero, jump that play, boom, we hit him with a double move, and hit him down the field. And then naturally, you can put him at safety. You know, everybody runs 4 verticals down the field. Joe, once again, wants to prove we were doing this back in '96. I can't exactly verify that, but that angle was far. Here we are in 2005. Just put that camera at free safety, you know, looking the safety off. How quickly can we look the safety off and get the ball to a guy running the seam, right? You know, use your eyes, right? Your eyes are a powerful weapon. Use your eyes to look those safeties off, right? Get those guys off the midline and get them in a bad position. One more thing I'll talk to you about a little bit is a little bit about the no huddle, and I'd be glad to take some questions. I believe in the no huddle offense. I didn't do it when I first got to Indianapolis, but we had it in as a special change up, and we were so successful. And we always started it like we'd go 3 and out, and all of a sudden we'd say, let's go no huddle. We call it lightning. Let's go lightning. And we picked up the tempo, and we scored every time. Finally, our coach said, why are we waiting to go 3 and out, and we're down 7-0? Why don't we start the game? That's kind of where we changed it. But I believe in it, and why I believe in it, because it does put pressure on the defense, right? Defensive coordinators in there, I believe you would agree, it puts pressure on them. It gives, I think, a quarterback and offensive coordinator time at the line of scrimmage, time to operate, which if you want to call the games from the sideline and be able to adjust and audible, it does give you more time in at the line of scrimmage. I don't believe a defense can simulate in practice on the scout team getting ready to play you that week. They can't simulate the kind of tempo that you're running in the no huddle. It always made us great in 2-minute drill situations. When the game was on the line, we had to have a 2-minute drive to win the game. We've kind of been in that mode all game. We were kind of calm in those situations, and we were able to have a lot of 2-minute drives to win the game. We were down 14-0, 17-0. We were down 35-14 one time with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. We came back and won. So it's going to help you, I believe, in critical situations before the half and the end of the game. It certainly, I think, guts a defense from a conditioning standpoint. I think you guys are in great shape. It's going to put that defense in a conditioning test. I believe it can keep your players interested, right? If you're having a hard time keeping your players focused, the same plays, it keeps them interested, keeps them into it. Maybe give them some ownership. Let them come up with their own code words for the offense, whatever it may be. I think you get more snaps in practice too. I believe you get more snaps in practice, and you can become a better team. I was telling the coaches a funny story. In Indianapolis, we had code words for our snap count, and we have different words. Words that meant 1, or 2. A lot of jersey numbers. Jeter would mean 2, Ruth would mean 3. And all these different things. And so for years, we always had Tiger meant on 1, and Phil meant on 2, right? Number 1 and number 2 ranked golfers in the world. That was always the way it was. And so you'd be calling the play, Tiger, Tiger, Tiger. That was going to mean it was on 1. So I saw Tiger Woods, had a chance to play golf with him earlier this year, about a month and a half ago, and he asked me, what's the biggest difference in the offense in Indianapolis and the offense in Denver? What's been the biggest adjustment? And I said, well, there's been lots of changes, and it's been a huge transition, for me, learning new teammates, learning new offense. I said, but the hardest thing for me is in our offense now that Rory means on 1 and Tiger means on 2. He did not like that at all. And I believe he did something about it. That's why he's back to number 1. Anyway, those are a couple of my thoughts. I'd be glad to answer any questions that you have about anything. If I can shed any light on anything, I tell you, high school football is a great institution. My high school coach coached 33 years. He retired a year after I graduated. He and I are still close, have a very close relationship. And he's Tony Reginelli was a great guy. So I had great memories of my time in high school. Probably my most enjoyable year playing football was my sophomore season. My older brother Cooper was my wide receiver. I think I completed about 120 passes that year. I threw 90 of them to my brother. And the other receivers didn't like it very much, but he and I grew up playing in the backyard, Saints practices, you name it. We finally got to play on the same team together, and it was a lot of fun. So I really admire you guys, and you truly make a difference in young men's lives. Coaches, it's a unique fraternity, and so I love being coached. I don't like it when a coach doesn't correct me on making a mistake. I like to be coached. When I make a mistake, I want him to tell me, that's not what we're talking about. We want you to throw the ball here. I think that's what makes it better. And so I commend you guys and appreciate what you guys do. So any questions about anything, I'd be glad to answer right here in the room. Right. Right. Sure. Well, you're talking about quarterback center exchange. I mean, like I said, there really is no more important relationship. I mean, your timing with your receivers and your ball handling with your backs, that's certainly critical and important. But if we can't get the play started with the proper snap at the quarterback center, right, we're asking for a long Friday night. So you really can't get enough snaps. And me and my center were very close in Indianapolis. Jeff Saturday, our lockers were right next to each other. We flew together on the plane, sat by each other on the bus, spending a lot of time together. The quarterback's got to be tight with his offensive line, but especially his center. And we were an audible offense. Every time I changed the play, Jeff was having an audible as well, change the play for the offensive line. So just constant repetition. Like I said, we did that drill for 13 years. Every day before practice, mini camps, 2-a-days, in season, didn't matter when it was, and just constant snaps. And like I said, we were running a sweep. He had to reach a 3 technique. We're taking that snap. I'm having a guy to ride him a little bit as he's moving to the right. Just, no secret besides just constant repetitions. I think you got to take as many snaps, work on that timing just as much as you do working on timing with your receivers. Oh, here.
Pre-snap audibles are real or fake?
Well, the majority of them are real, right? I mean, there's a reason these guys are playing defense, right? There's no scientific rockets over there, right? We all know that, right? I'm just kidding. So I think you do have to change it up a little bit, especially when you're playing these division teams. These teams that you're playing twice a year, 5, 6, 7 years in a row with the same defensive coordinator. You might see a team again in the playoffs, and so I think, like I said, it keeps your players interested too. Hey, we're changing this all. This is going to mean something else this week. Making guys study, right? I believe in studying. I believe I want guys in meetings with a pen and paper, writing things down. I think if you're in a meeting, watching film without a pen and a paper, I think you're really wasting your time. I want to write things down. So we'll change it up just to try to protect the offense. I still believe, I used to get frustrated with our offensive line. They'd all say, hey, they know what's coming. You're calling 12, they know it's a dive to the right. I don't think it matters. If you block it well, it doesn't matter if they know what's coming every time, right? I want to be dictating. The offense, I want them to be dictating to the defense. So, sure, you want to give your lineman the best chance, right? But, if the linebacker knows it's coming one way, he gets a jump start, that center can't get him. Obviously, that's tough, but I still believe it doesn't matter if they know it's a run. Hey, you still got to block them, right? It's not an excuse not to block them. So we do change it up. I kind of like it when I think a guy's kind of got me figured out. It's usually that young linebacker, and he can't help it but say it, right? He has to say, oh, it's coming. We were running, we got a play call. He's going, it's coming right here. It's coming right here. I'm going, well, it ain't. And you fake it. So, I thought the best linebackers, the Ray Lewises and Zach Thomases, I thought those guys just kind of played their keys. They had instincts. Zach Thomas, I remember, I can't tell you how many times, we played the Dolphins and he's going, watch the screen. I'm going, how does he know? Timeout. He just had these great instincts, But most of them were playing their keys, their film study, a lot of them reading those guards. They can tell those guards are like their stances. They might be pulling. So that's kind of my philosophy. You still got to go play ball. You got to play ball.
Talk about the no-huddle offense. How many plays would you recommend if you were trying to start a no-huddle offense that you would actually incorporate?
I would say I would lean toward a smaller number. I really would. I believe I had an old school coach in Indianapolis for years named Tom Moore. He was old school, and he was always talking about having an identity for your offense. This is who we are. This is the Indianapolis culture. We're going to run these plays, and we're going to run them so well, it does not matter what the defense is doing. And he always used to say, hey, we're not going to be a designer offense. And what he meant by that is we're not going to go copying plays and adding, 50 new plays every single week. We'll add some wrinkles. We're playing a team and, a certain team ran a play against them that looked really good. Sure, we'll put that in. But we're going to be who we are. We're going to run our stretch play, we're going to run the trap, right? We're going to run the trap pass. And so we had I think a simple offense in a lot of ways. We're in a small, I see some defensive coordinators, y'all didn't do a whole lot, but you did it so well, and it came down to execution. So, I believe there's scheming teams, but there's out executing. And having the fundamentals and techniques right, the receivers running the exact depth on the right routes, and the back being where he's supposed to be, pattern integrity, spacing, those things. So I'd really kind of tell you to have a package of a small package. Hey, these are the plays we're going to do in no huddle. That's our package. It doesn't matter if the defense knows it because they're going to be hopefully so tired. And then, anytime you have like maybe a special play, there's nothing wrong with huddle. Hey, let's huddle up. Let's call this play and get on the same page. But I think if you do too much, you're not going to do any of them really, really well. Let's master a couple of things.
I notice that baseball pitchers take real good care. There's always talk about how to take good arms. Can you speak to taking care of your arms as a quarterback? Because I just don't see teams doing that with quarterbacks.
Sure. No, I believe it's very important. Of course, I got to believe most of your quarterbacks in high school are probably playing baseball as well. I played baseball. I played shortstop, and I'm an icer. I think a quarterback. Take the time. It's a nuisance. It's a discipline thing. But take 20 minutes and ice your elbow, ice your shoulder, all the rotator cuff stuff. I kind of have a little routine I've been doing with the bands and little light dumbbells, all the rotator cuff stuff. Especially since my injury, I've had a huge change with my injury that that can allow for some more stress on the arms. So my rehab and rotator cuff and strengthening and forearms has even become more important. But in my age too, and I think the quarterback too, you have to watch, especially guy playing baseball. There's nothing wrong with putting them on a pitch count. In high school, I thought I could throw, all day, but like I said, I didn't pitch. But now these workouts, that you're seeing these drills, they'll say, hey, we're going to throw 50 balls today. 50 all day, including that little warm-up. We're going to throw 75 today, and we're going to ramp it up to 100 tomorrow. But I don't think it's too early to start a guy on that if they're quality reps. And save that guy's arm. So get somebody out there with a clicker, and you can kind of chart the practice. In practice, hey, he's going to throw 35 passes. So individual drills, let's scale it off that. Hey, we got 25 throws of individual drills. And so a kid with arm problems, that's something I think that's definitely a real thing you should do. Here's one up here, Joe.
Talk a little bit about your game film preparation. I read somewhere with your dad and you guys, and maybe some guidelines as a coach and a dad who has a kid that's playing football as a sophomore again this year. Was it important to watch game film from just the NFL, college, or what? And what type of steps would you take to introduce that?
Well, when I was in high school, I never watched any college film or NFL film, and my dad. It really wasn't until I was about a senior when he kind of, talked a little coverage, with me. My dad never wanted to be my coach. He just wanted to be my dad. And I had good coaches, and that was his philosophy in high school, college, and pro. He was not going to be my coach. He was there as a resource for me. And I had questions. I had tons of questions. I wanted to play ball, and I love football. And so I had a lot of questions for him. But I kind of had to go to him. That was the rule. He was never going to come to me. But in high school, at least in my high school, the film wasn't great. The camera kind of followed the ball the whole time. You really couldn't see, a ton of coverage. But I do believe in studying whatever you can, watching the opponent, to try to get a little feel for what the defense is doing. My brother was a receiver, as a senior, like I said, and my dad used to take a camera and just kind of film him. He filmed Cooper the whole time, just kind of had for him. His blocks, my dad was a good receivers coach. He always said he helped develop 5 all-state receivers at Newark during my time. Being a quarterback, he knew how to mold a good receiver. He he'd go watch us throw in the off season. So he's been on Cooper, so Cooper can kind of study his blocking. So I think that's something that's fair and you can do because, like I said, the film's not going to eyeball that receiver. I believe, like I said, the cell phones weren't around back then, but studying yourself just as much as kind of studying an opponent. Studying your footwork and mechanics, knowing your job and your offense and what to do. I think that's equally as important as studying the opponent and studying the film. So, like I said, when I got to Tennessee as a freshman, and, once I realized that the access to the film, you can walk in this room at any time and pick out all these games and watch film. And like I said, Joe kind of became my best friend. I just sort of opened up me to a whole new world. And I really became a film rat. And I really enjoyed watching it and studying. I like watching it by myself with a pen and paper. I remember the coaches weren't allowed to work with you until August, but I got here in July. And I went in there and I took a play. And this place called 62 Myers. I put it in and I just kind of said, it looks like, he's running the post and he's running a little option route. I kind of learned the offense without anybody teaching me, just by what I saw on film. So it's a great way to learn, I think. And whatever access you have, whatever angles you have, I think it can help you be a better player. Here's one right there in the middle, Joe.
What's your take on scripting the first 5 to 10 plays or 15?
I didn't do it for years in Indianapolis. In the past few years there, we started doing it, and we do it in Denver. I think it can help you get off to a good start. I think you do it if you're having trouble getting off to a good start. If you want to get a couple of things accomplished, hey, I want to come out. I want to send a message early, and we're going to go down the field and back them off. And so, I want to get these different. Sometimes you want to see how the defense is going to play if you're in, jumbo package. We're going to see how they're going to play that. We're going to go, spread, empty. We're going to see how they're going to play that. Sometimes you want to learn. So I believe in it. I think there's a real place for a mix. We usually, like I said, kind of go the first 15, and then after that, I do think if you're going to do it in the first half, you got to have something ready for the second half too. That's probably what I think against most teams, and it's gotten us in the past that we kind of shoot our guns, and all of a sudden the second half, what have we got? Let's be sure we're coming back to some of the same. It doesn't have to be 15 new plays, right? Hey, let's come back and let's kind of check what worked. I was showing some of the coaches last night about a completion play that we like. And I've been running some of the same plays since 1998. They're the same plays, and if they're good plays, let's keep calling. Let's don't say, hey, we can't call it again. You can keep calling. If you can out-execute it, you got to trust the quarterback that if it's not there, to throw it away or come down to the check down. But I think it's a good way. I believe in, if you have it, I believe in showing the offense what they are. I've had coaches that I don't want anybody to see it. Might, the word might get out. I kind of let them know what these plays are. I trust they're going to protect it. And I think it's a good way to get off to a good start. I think it's, if you like doing that, I'm a fan of it.
Hello. What do you feel like is the most important thing for young quarterbacks that are still developing, even on a youth or middle school level, before they get to high school?
Sure. Well, obviously they're learning a lot about their bodies. I really didn't start lifting weights until I was about in the, maybe the 8th grade. Boy, I was, not very strong. Slow. Couldn't let out of sight in a week. And I had tendonitis, Osgood sliders. I grew 5 inches in 1 year. And I really, and my dad could run so good. He did not give us any of his speed, me or Eli. Everybody always says, who would win in a race, you or Eli? I said, nobody wants to see that race. So, but like I said, you kind of get a feel for kind of what your body is and, what you're doing in the weight room and whatnot. I think playing. Playing. I played them all. I played football, basketball, and baseball. I don't really believe in specializing unless you're absolutely sure this kid is going to be the first pick of the draft. Let's let him play it all. Play sports, be an athlete. Be sure his first football experience is a positive one. I didn't play organized football until I was in the 7th grade. I did the Pop Warner and the Little Leagues. Football weren't. My dad just didn't work real organized, wasn't really good equipment and coaching. And he didn't let me play until the 7th grade. I just played recess and backyard and pickup ball. You know, always playing the game. There's nothing wrong with that, right? You know, because I don't want a child to play Pop Warner and have a bad experience with a coach or get injured, but he just says, I don't want to play anymore. This isn't any fun. So I want that first experience to be a positive one. It needs to be fun for them early. You know, it needs to be an enjoyable time. It needs to, like football. I still have a great passion for football. I mean, I wouldn't tell my owner this, but I would play for free. I like it that much, right? So it needs to be fun. And then, I think you kind of gauge, how into it, the kid is. And boy, I was into it. I had an older brother which helped me. I was competitive with him and, really wanted to be as good as him. And boy, I think the fact that my dad kind of made me wait till the 7th grade, I went out there and, played quarterback and just really, couldn't wait to get to high school and started on the JV as a freshman and really wanted to start on the varsity, which I did as a sophomore. And just kind of, I had no idea I was going to be, a college ball player or a pro player. I had to have things happen to me. I was a junior in college. I got my first handwritten letter from Bobby Bowden. I used to always check those. I checked that signature to see if it was a print or a real signature. It's smeared. And I said, Bobby Bowden just wrote me a letter. I said, maybe that means I'm going to have a chance to play in college ball. That was exciting for me. Then I got to Tennessee. Shoot, I was a sophomore, and I remember there was a scout there coming to see one of our seniors, and he said, "Are you thinking about maybe coming out next year?" I didn't know. So that told me, "Hey, Kyle, maybe I'd have a shot to play pro ball." So I was never. I wanted to play. I never knew that was going to happen. I worked at it, and I really wanted to be a good player and really wanted to work hard at it. So I think, like I said, you kind of get to know the kid and kind of how much he wants to do it. But be sure that it's a positive, fun experience, and be careful pushing it too early. We got time for a couple more here, I think. Right? So,
a little bit about your pro career. Your reputation as a quarterback is another coach on the field. Who have you seen as an opponent on defense that's just as good as far as you mentioned a player earlier that, how do you know that was a screen? Right, I'm out. Who do you see or who do you play against that you see that when you prepare for him, that guy's another coach on the field similar to your style?
Sure. Well, there's so many great ones that I played against. I mean, I go against a guy in practice now, Champ Bailey, every day, who's as good a corner as there is. He's a technician. He has a routine he does before practice every day that's impressive, that gets him ready. He's, I saw somebody asked him, he's going into his 15th season. They said, well, all these corners now are moving to safety. He said, would you think about moving to safety? He went, I'm still fast enough to play corner. He's kind of like saying, that's an insult to me. And I kind of appreciated that. So, Ray Lewis is the best defensive player I've ever played against. I could tell, he was kind of the quarterback of that defense. Great passion, great charisma. He was making those calls. He'd done his studying. Zach Thomas was, like I said, wasn't as talented as Ray, but he done his studying. And, Ray, not so smart and so athletic and flat run. Those defensive tackles, if they held up the guard or the center, you just couldn't get to him. He could run so fast and could flat hit. I mean, when he hit you, he'd always kind of hit me. He'd always kind of drive me into the ground. He'd always kind of use me to help him get up. Like he always wish for me back in a couple of minutes, pump. So very, very friendly. I used to play Pro Bowl. I played in 12 Pro Bowls with him. I used to buy all his dinners and drinks. I bought golf clubs one year, hoping he'd remember not to hit me, so he always forgot. So many great players. But like I said, yeah, I mean, it's the guys to me that worked as if they had no talent, and then you combine that with great talent, that made him a great player. So it's been a number. Junior Seau, God rest his soul, was unbelievably talented and instinctive. And we used to always play against him. They said, well, Junior was blitzing here, but it wasn't a blitz. It was a zone cover. He just felt something and blitzed the gap, And so it's been an honor playing against those guys. And so, you can see the way, even on the film, kind of how they're, in control, making calls, and kind of quarterback of the defense. Ed Reed, Palomalo, great safeties, two of the best safeties ever, in my opinion, the best that I've played against. So those are just a few. How about right here? One more. Yes. Yes. Yeah, he asked about the dual threat quarterback, who is sticking. Yes, I believe it is here to stay. I see more and more NFL teams studying the college game, studying the college offenses, not just because they necessarily have, the Redskins studied, Baylor this year because of RG3. San Francisco studied Nevada because of Kaepernick. But I see, Bill Belichick this year studied Oregon, just because of what they're doing. So I believe, that type of quarterback is here to stay. I hope there's a place for the drop back quarterback. Otherwise, I'm out of a job real fast. And so I believe there's a place for both. I really do. I don't think it's a fad. I don't think, it's just here for a couple of years. I think it is here to stay. I think it's great for the game, for the NFL game. It makes it more exciting, creates more dynamics to it. But I do believe that there is a place for the drop back quarterback. And as a matter of fact, we have this quarterback camp down in Louisiana for high school kids. And the first thing we do is, teach them how to take a snap and drop them under center, because I like, that's where a quarterback needs to start. It can't be all, we sometimes we'll bring a quarterback in as a free agent that has never taken a snap. He's been 100% shotgun his entire college career and doesn't know how to take a three-step drop. I'm kind of old school. I still believe in knowing how to take a snap and how to drive away from center. So I believe there's a mix for both the entire time. So, hey, thank you all very much for having me.